Stories for all seasons.
Lily moped, dragging her feet in the dew-soaked grass to retrieve her third bucket of water from the well. Why doesn't Ma wake up Timothy to get this stupid bucket of water? So what if he's 3 years younger? He's still 11, Lily thought. She reluctantly clasped the handle and grunted at every turn. The sweat ran down the sides of her cheeks, and she blew in the palms of her hands, cooling it from the friction of the handle. At least Uncle Jesse could fix the handle if they want me to slave at the crack of dawn. Why'd they have to buy this godforsaken dump? They wanted to move out of the city to be farmers, not me, she said to herself. After filling the bucket with water, she clenched her jaw as the most hated part of the task began. She braced herself and widened her stance to pull up the now water-weighted bucket. She held her breath and pushed. The handle felt like it was frozen in position. She tried a second time, digging her heels in the slick grass, but nothing. Her eyebrows and her lips tightened as she yelled some bad words in the deep hole. Her voice didn't echo, a first for anyone that ever screamed in a well. Lily straightened up and tilted her head, thinking she'd somehow misunderstood the science of sound in a hollow place. She cleared her throat for a second attempt and spat out a sharp, high-pitched yelp. At first, nothing. Then, a sound rang back, but not identical to the one she put in. Instead, a series of whispers rose to the lip of the well. A coldness spread across her forehead as she widened the distance between her and the phenomenon. With shaking hands, she picked up a pebble and threw it in the well. There was no splash, only more whispers. Lily ran towards the wooden house empty-handed. "Ma, there's something in that well. I hear voices. A couple of voices." Lily's mother paused her dough kneading, shaking the flour from her hand. She took a few labored breaths before responding to Lily through gritted teeth. "You lazy girl! All I ask from you is a couple of buckets of water, and now you're telling me about some damn voices coming out of the well?" "But Ma, I ain't lying. I heard..." Lily's uncle gave her a backhand across her pale cheek. She felt like she was suffocating for a few seconds. She swallowed the impending tears before they could surface in her eyelids. He leaned in, with the smell of moonshine mixed in with stale morning breath. "Watch your mouth, you little piss-tail girl. I don't want to hear no sass out of you on this farm. Leave that mouth in the city. You just like your bastard daddy. It's a good thing he's sleeping in the dirt. Maybe now someone could slap some respect in your mouth." Lily looked at her mother, whose eyes went back to kneading dough. Lily turned around and walked towards the door. She was careful not to breathe too deeply, for fear that it may be interpreted as attitude. The lump in her throat was aching. She hastened her pace towards the door as her hold on the tears began to crack like a thin ice under the weight of a horse. As soon as her feet touched the moistened ground, tears flooded her face and began to soak the collar of her dress. She gripped the handle on the well and began to turn, wiping the tears away with her forearms. Then, the whispers began again, this time with words she could decipher. As though it was the wind speaking, the voices said, "You could bring him back. He would never let this happen to you," the voices said. Lily froze. "We could bring him back if you give me blood. He's dead. He ain't coming back," Lily said. Her hands trembled, her instincts telling to let go of the handle and run. "You're not wanted here. They wish it was just the three of them. Your father was in the way of their happiness, and that's why they killed him." "You're lying. You don't know anything about him," Lily said. Rage overcame fear for a fleeting second, giving her the courage to look down and speak to the whispers in the water. When she looked down, the water reflected a scene of her mother and her uncle killing her father with a hatchet. Lily turned away and threw up. "Your face reminds them of him. Your brother is not your father's child. He's your uncle's." Lily bit down on her teeth to keep down the contents of her stomach. Her nostrils flared, and the anger surged the blood up to her temples. Just one drop of blood can bring him back. He misses you so much, the voices said. Questions of normalcy washed away as Lily put her hand over the well. She bit down on the web of her hand between the thumb and index finger. Drops of blood dripped down her chin and into the well, the pain seemingly a mere inconvenience. Lily felt a warm but familiar touch on her cheek. "Lils," a deep and welcomed voice said. Lily's eyes widened when she saw her father standing there whole and alive, rubbing the sides of her arms. Lily pressed her face against his chest, savoring his familiar scent. She broke down, her wailing echoing across the open fields. "Daddy, Her father gently put his finger over her lips and said, "I'm going to take you back to the city. They won't hurt you again. I won't let them." Lily wrapped her arms around his waist again, tightening more than before. Her father kissed her on the forehead and went into the house. "Daddy, where are you going?" Her father turned around and smiled, his dimples just as pronounced as before he died. "I'm going to get your things so we can head back to the city." A few minutes later, her father returned with her things in her mother's leather suitcases. Lily stood up with eagerness in her eyes. "What did Ma and Uncle Jesse say?" "Oh, don't you worry about them. They didn't care," her father said. "What about Timothy? What'd he say when he saw you? Did he want to come with us too?" Lily said. "He wanted to stay with his parents." Lily's mouth gaped slightly, confused by her father's calm and warm expression. "Don't worry. I always knew. Just as long as everyone is happy, even if it means we can't be a part of that. Now, let me see that pretty smile. We have a long trip ahead of us. It's a good thing your Uncle Jesse kept my truck up and running while I was gone." A few miles up the street, Lily and her father stopped at a gas station. Seconds upon walking in, the gas station's owner and his wife looked at Lily and her father like deers at a croc-infested watering hole. "How you good folks doing today?" Lily's father said. The owner and his wife exchanged glances. "Well, I just filled up the old truck. Got a long journey ahead of us," Lily's father said, smiling at the old couple. Still, no response from them. "They kind of rude, ain't they, Daddy?" Lily said with scorn on her face. "Darling, don't you worry about how people react to politeness. Just be polite anyway." "You're right, Daddy. Everyone doesn't have manners around these parts, I see," Lily said. Lily's father placed a bill much too large for the amount of gas he pumped. He smiled at the old couple and said, "Keep the change." Lily and her dad walked out of the gas station with Lily hugging his arm. They drove off with Lily's father nodding at them. "What the hell was that?" the old lady said. The old man picked up the blood-soaked $20 bill with his fingertips and said, "I don't think we want to know. Ain't every day you see a young girl covered in blood and talking to herself." "You right. The last person to ask that question was probably the one whose blood she's wearing." At the farmhouse, Timothy just woke up. "Ma? Uncle Jesse? Lily?" Timothy said. After opening every door and discovering every room being empty, Timothy looked outside. From the back door, 2 thick trails of blood led him to the well.
Stories for all seasons.